Yo, what's up, guys? I wasn't gonna do that. This must be the Santa rally. Yeah, I guess so. We got a new all-time high. Merry Christmas Eve to you too, Puddin' Flops. It's very interesting that we're not filling this upside gap now twice on SPX. Hmm. There's really not a lot of room to move down. They've sold every put they feasibly can. Hmm. I hate half days. NQ was messy for a bit. Was it? Like before what? Before market open? Because it looks like we bounced off VWAP and it's been going straight up ever since. Oh, 830 to 900. Huh. Wait. Oh, maybe the 1 minute candles are weirder. Hmm. I personally love this completely unsubstantiated rally. It's making puts very, very cheap, very fast. What's up, Kiko? Hmm. This has got to pull back next week. Well, I mean, maybe. It's interesting that puts are staying like there's still demand on the 30-day puts. Which is kind of curious. I mean, a healthy pullback. Hmm. What happened with Gamma Max this morning? Gamma Max is at 36. We sure as shit don't have a lot of upside here. This is interesting. Is this going to be the first time we've closed under the JPM collar into expiry? Well, I guess expiry is next Tuesday. Maybe we just keep pushing up into next Wednesday. Nasdaq's crapping out. Yeah, I mean they've overshorted vol massively. Like the vol suppression's way too heavy. It's a huge risk. Far too many sold puts at the money. I think if they don't recover the uptrend, we could maybe fall back towards Vega neutral. I don't know if we have enough time because the half day. If it were a longer day, I would say that that's possible. It's like put buyers are coming in. Why? Because the puts are cheap. Puts are very, very cheap. So what's everyone doing for Christmas? What are you guys doing? Jesus Christ, chat's dead. Oh, because no one's here. That makes sense. Thanks, Jeff. I'm not streaming tomorrow. I'm hoping my short is back to break even. The dream. Where where are you short? Avoiding the in-laws as much as possible. Knife. Your other stream with the with playing games? I don't do that one anymore. Skiing and eating steaks in lovely Indiana. Cross country skiing. Nice. That's the safest kind because there's no trees. Skiing in Indiana is the safest kind of skiing. To answer the person's question over on the Discord, yes, the 35 strike is stacked with calls. There's like 6,500 sold calls there. There's more at 30, like 11,000. Greg, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I also hope you end the stream by reading us a Christmas book again. Oh. Hmm. I'll think about it. Oh, look, more up. Interesting. Completely unsubstantiated upside. But NASDAQ not moving higher. Weird. 1 second. There's so many people at my house. Fam in town for the holidays? Yeah, literally all of them. Thoughts on cost? It's sitting at gamma neutral. Hmm. Ooh. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Might be hitting kind of an inflection point here, though. Bounced today a little. Might be like a good opportunity for like short dated put spreads or something. Mm. The people who bought puts got fucked. And somebody bought 8,900 calls at 69.20 just now. Well, in the last 6 minutes, I guess. 9,000 calls at 69.20. I wonder what they're trying to push out to. We're already like gamma to the upside continually decreases. I will say a 69.25 close seems far more likely than closing up here. Holy fuck, I've never seen the options chain this blown out. This is wild, actually. What the fuck? Hmm. Yeah, I could toss Discord on. Look at all these motherfucking calls. Look at that. I don't know what the goal is here. Gherkin, I miss you in the pickle jar. What's up, dude? Hope you all have a merry holiday. You as well. Happy Toyotathon or whatever you celebrate. Instead of asking when crash, I'm gonna start asking when app. So when app, thanks, Q. It'll probably be a while, but we'll keep trying to make it better on mobile. We've done a lot for usability on mobile, but it's got a ways to go. Yeah, my mom's doing good. She's on my Christmas list. Doesn't the Condor have to close? Where is that sold? 69.50. Those calls are definitely bought. Oh yeah, yeah. If they'd come in all at once, I would say maybe not, but they didn't. They came in like multiple different blocks. The new 2025 B4RX Toyota at your local dealer. No APR upfront for 24 months. Come get your cheap plastic. The new one's better. They improved it a bunch. It's definitely more on par with the rest of the EVs, which all fucking suck. Don't buy an electric vehicle if you can't either charge it at home and only drive 20 miles a day, or unless you hate yourself. Because nothing in the world will make you feel more like a fucking idiot than sitting at a charging station waiting to use a charger for 30 minutes to then only go and charge your car for 30 minutes when you could have gotten gas in like 2 minutes. Fuck the environment. Nice YouTube lube.
Costellosaurus put their pickle in my jar. What's first app or crash? Place your bets, PJ. Cuckoo
5. Thanks, Costellosaurus. Oh god, the thing's back. Why isn't that muted? Oh, there we go. Merry Chrysler to you too, Gorilla Mode. Did you guys hear about the soldier? Maybe that's why we're running, because the armed services are getting a dividend for the tariffs that they're enforcing so adamantly on Venezuela. We just don't want to devote resources to making a phone app right now. That's the first thing I thought. Yep. I thought those Dodge Chargers aren't going to sell themselves. You say 1776, Tomater, but I say down payment on a Dodge Charger lease. Is anybody going to go long GM? That doesn't matter. It's totaled. One day I'll get a real job. I mean, hopefully we just get GS working on like phone browsers really well, and then you don't need to worry about the app. What happened to your car? It got totaled. Taken out by a random Amazon truck. It's just too limited. Yeah, it's the worst. I definitely should have just gotten a hybrid. Why would I sue Amazon? They just buy me a new car, right? Or well, zero out my lease, and then I can pick a car that's not a fucking EV, which would be amazing. Oh my god, we're selling off. I wonder if they'll close those calls that were horribly bought at the top. They're closing some of them. Somebody's buying far out of the money puts. Like the 68.85 and 68.95 puts have been kind of heavily bought here. Ooh. Huh. We have a gap back at 69.27. Although I think we still have one from yesterday. Somewhere to the downside too. 68.76. Yeah, I'll focus on 27 for now. There's a lot of sold calls that could slip in the money at 69.30. Those are getting sold in the money too. Hey Gilgamesh. Merry holidays, man. Hmm. What the fuck are we pinned up here? It's very illogical. Hmm. Charm is very supportive. That's fucking so weird, right? We're like right here. Look how steep this is getting. I have a feeling next week's going to be nasty. See at 85. Shit is way too top heavy. Not crash, but pullback. I don't know. What's weird is like the Delta picked up pretty hard on the short dated, but like over here, none of that Delta came back on the longer like the monthly expiration. Like we went from like 4.5 trillion, we're at 3 trillion now, so about 1.5 trillion fell off, and it has not recovered. Usually it's pretty quick, you know. Here's like an OPEX, here's an OPEX, 3 or 4 days. This is kind of way off. So be interesting. Gamma's still a little positive on the monthly chain though. I still want to see what happens with these bot calls at 20. They're eroding a bit, so they're closing some of them. Slipping under 30 seems kind of bad. And we're above VN, so downtrends are persistent. Or as persistent as uptrends, at least until vol normalizes and the convex like move back into like a convex book for the dealer. Should be, yeah, it'll be back under 25 or at 25. Weird end of year adjustments. Yeah, I mean this time period's always got a lot of like balance sheet adjustment and stuff. Hmm. So the bounce failed. See if we fall under support there. The drop off in gamma is still about 15 billion. Put buying's picking up. A little bit. Out of the money though, still. There's a few puts being bought at 35, not very many. But a lot of puts being bought like 6,900 down to 68.85, which would be a crazy fucking drop. Merry Christmas, Thunder. Does Santa rally end today, or does it have till year end? Generally, year end, like the end of quarter, is when it's thought. But I mean, the Santa rally is actually not a real thing. I hope you know that. Like statistically, it's just bullshit. It's something people talk about, but I mean, you have end of year window dressing, but that's not always bullish. I would say just as many times it's bearish. Last year we kind of got like a little rally, and then it sold off into the end of the year. No, January is usually bearish because dispersion breaks down with the index options. So you got like front half of January is strong because all of the index, like the equity leaps, are approaching expiration, and vol cranks up. But then like the back half of the month tends to be really bad because all of the dispersion trades break down and they have to be like rebalanced. Oh, it's not fully priced in, but once we start getting like more bond auctions, we'll start to see more of an effect there. Rosolio, Merry Christmas, dude. What do you mean not real? What's window dressing? Like balance sheet adjustments from money market funds and pension funds going into end of quarter. They tend to sell off a lot of like their winners to make their balance sheets look better and adjust their margin requirements lower. Oh goody, we bounced again. It's my favorite. So because they have to report their like end of quarter reports, if they're behind on their benchmarks, they'll add like whatever's overperforming, and they'll cut underperforming stocks. They might change like their risk profiles around. And because the index is like so heavily concentrated, it's bullish. It tends to be bullish when they buy into like winners. Market closes at 1 o'clock. And then pensions rebalance between like, and 60/40 funds and shit like that. They rebalance between their stock and bond allocations. You get like vol control funds rebalancing, which we're probably seeing with the massive vol suppression. Um, and those are just like systematic. Ooh, damn! We just went up and pinged Gamma Max. Wild. He said 7,000 end of year, didn't he? Little Kith, double Kith. I don't know. I mean, at this point, we technically shouldn't have any room to the upside at all. Vana Vana bottoms at 40. So I think the only way we go up from here is we would need vol to rise, I think. Yeah, yeah, there's probably more pressure on futures today given how blown out the SPX chain is. Also, the SPX chain's really illiquid and over concentrated at particular strikes today. Like the massive position over down at down here at like 69.20. And then there's like huge sold calls at 69 like 30, 35, 40. Closing above GM is very unlikely. It is, but it's also an overnight number. And technically, the zero DTE peak for gamma is back at 69.25. So we're kind of in between like that. Like, well, I guess we're a little bit above the index one as well. Or like the one on the weekly. Or well, right at it. It's probably shifted slightly higher though throughout the trading day. I guess is the main point. So that's the measurement as of the OI update this morning. But it can move a little. Generally not too much. It can also act as like a big like take profit point. So usually tests of gamma max reject pretty hard on indexes because they act as like kind of a hard cap to price action since it's an options, like there's no underlying. So equities the underlying can keep getting bought even at gamma max and ignore the options chain. But for SPX that's really hard. Also big incentive for call sellers. Speaking of call selling. Hmm. Yeah, could be. We got kind of slam back up though here. We got quite a bit more put selling on the downside move. A lot more puts sold at 69.30. Charm's a pretty consistent driver of upside here, especially with like 23 minutes till close. So you get a lot of weird shit on half days. I don't know if I'd short Gamma Max, but because we could just get pinned here. Who will do time? Kashkari's infinite liquidity. Seppuku? What happens when if tariffs get shut down by the court? Market probably crashes. I don't know. Probably like a hybrid or something. Maybe I'll get like another Lexus. So normally I would short Gamma Max, but Charm's ridiculous here. Like look at all the supportive Charm. Makes me think it'd be very, very hard for us to pull back in any meaningful way. And I think the 6920 calls were bought to continue to support the positive charm flows and protect all these downside sold puts. Because those were bought pretty deep in the money at the time they were purchased. We were trading at like what like 35-ish. So thanks, Starscream. Me too. 1 second. Ugh. I still want like a 25 close. Yeah. What did you do to Jeff Bezos? Did he put a hit on you? Nothing that I'm aware of. Houston Wade's in jail. I mean, there was an arrest report for like the city he lives in under his name for like solicitation of a minor. So that seems fairly damning. Probably just after his GME shares. Glad I sold then. Isn't he a teacher? No, I'm pretty sure he's like the manager of like a TGI Fridays or Chili's, maybe Applebee's. Although Applebee's seems like a little high class. Maybe Denny's? I thought he was a professor at a uni. Yeah, and I'm actually a deity. Kirk the Stuck God. This is known. Imagine if we do close at 25. A Christmas miracle. If you're a deity, why don't you fix Cobra's port? You can't fix stupid, Danimal. It's a feature, not a bug. That's why JFresh asked if you could be human for once in the last Vol Stars. I am a human. Whoa. Oh, future's closed. Wait, what the fuck? Did they just change the fucking margin requirements? What the fuck was that? Uh oh. Hmm. That's extremely suspicious. Merry holidays. Merry holidays to you too, Jason. I can't believe we're closing in on 5 years from our origin story. Get wrecked, RC. Yeah, take that with your billions. Would I buy the market at 62.50? No. Gross. Thanks, Manga Man. Did you already use your thing this month? Why would I read The Night Before Christmas more than once? Are we trying to turn that into a thing? I was thinking Good King Wenceslas. Is MOC still a thing on half days? Yeah. You could have paid for Pontiff. Later, Danimal. Happy holidays, man. Oh, there was some demand on the 7-year today, too. That's kind of interesting. Hey, guys, it's okay. Mortgage rates dropped to 6.18. Yeah, when's Santa gonna land this sled? Sleigh? What's the difference? Is one pulled mechanically? King Wenceslas? I don't remember how it goes. It's like good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen when the snow lay round about. I could probably just look it up. Deep and crisp and even. Is it deep and crisp? Yeah. Can Friday be interesting? I think so. Definitely next week, if not Friday. There's still a lot of gamma on Friday, a lot of pinning. I think next week's kind of fun. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel. When the poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. I don't even know if I'm right. Oh, I was right. Ha! Happy holidays, Idaho beef. We need to get the entire pickle jar into a single voice chat and then sing carols to one another. Drunk, of course. I'm in. I'm not. Any chance this squeezes down at a loss of 30? Yeah, because it can blow up the 20 calls. Wow, the 20 calls are actually kind of already getting blown up, but there's still a decent amount of them. Losing 20 would be like fucking a massive blowout, but I think close at 25 still is very likely. Bulls will fight for 30 because they sold a bunch of puts there. You can be the conductor on stream. I don't have the little stick. I have a pen. Use my pen. Gonna hear these chords, boys. Hmm. Ooh, bot calls. Hmm. Ooh, MOC imbalance is small, not particularly relevant. Bulls are buying the 35 call pretty heavily. About some 40 calls, 30 calls, 25. They're selling the 30 put. More selling on the 30 put. Ooh, it looks like they're closing the 6920 calls though. Closed about 1,000 of them. Out of 15,000? Jesus fucking Christ. Bulls are trying to make white for Christmas. I wonder if the 6920 Bulls rugging the 6930 Bulls is going to be a thing. Closing below 6930 would be like a kind of a big loss for a lot of people right now. I just want to close at 25. All right, ding ding. So 'twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in the hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer, now Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was all he was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. And laying his finger aside of his nose, He gave a nod, and up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."